What's that background noise?
I hear somebody screaming in the background to somebody. Reactor's having another house party while he has COVID.
Oh yeah. 1 second. I'll try to see if I can.
Probably not the best time to have guests over, right?
I guess we can delve into that. That'd be.
I think this is the opening of the episode. Reactor has to go quiet down his house guests while he has COVID.
I don't
They
have
got to
COVID.
build up that natural immunity one way or another. They have those chicken pox parties for kids. I think it's about time. I think we've made enough progress. Thanks to
That's what
science.
they're
Yeah.
doing in the pool
Hey,
household.
hey.
They all get into the same pool.
Yeah.
I don't have COVID though.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I got that Regeneron shit that Trump got.
Yeah.
Regeneron.
Yeah,
Have we
monoclonal
actually
antibodies.
started the episode, or should we actually do an official intro? or
No, I think
Was
we're
that it?
good. I want to hear more
Okay.
about this whole COVID thing because Tim Pool on Twitter says this is the most sick I've ever been. I thought I was about to die. My little brother Reactor almost had to take me to the ER. I thought I was
Yeah, I
going
don't
to
think
die.
he said that. I didn't even know he
No,
was sick.
He legit posted that on Twitter. So I'm asking, how was it? Because I have not had COVID. Was it really that bad?
I woke up on a Tuesday feeling like I had a cold, and then I felt shitty all day. And then Wednesday I had a fever, so I stayed in bed all day. And then Thursday I was okay.
So not that bad. So what you're saying is old people are pussies.
But yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I tend
And,
to
and my
agree.
brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we all already knew that.
No, the only it was like having, I don't know. I would say like I don't even remember having the flu. Every time I get sick, I'm like, okay, I'm sick. Whatever the fuck it's called, I don't care. But
right.
Well, I'm
it
more
didn't
of the
seem any
opinion,
different than that.
I think it really just affects people that are large and in charge, so to speak. I like to use nice language because I had it about 2 years ago before it got discovered and identified, and I just
You were in Wuhan at the time when it
I
came
think
out.
so. I mean,
Yeah, it did seem
I
to
mean-
affect heavier people more.
I think I
people
kind of
that work
jinxed
here.
myself because I think I came down with it like on a Thursday, whatever it was. I think on the Tuesdays when I had done this pro smoking advertisement. So I think I kind of jinxed myself and I did that because all of a sudden I woke up one morning and I hadn't felt too great prior to this, like in the immediate sense. But I woke up and I couldn't breathe. Like I would breathe air into my lungs and like it just wasn't like getting there. Like I couldn't feel it
Right.
getting to where it needed to go. So I pretty much went right to the ER. They gave me some type of like bronchitis medication and an inhaler because they couldn't really quite figure out what was going on. But I got over it after about a week or so. So I think that a combination of being old and fat or American, that's kind of, it all falls under the same Venn diagram.
Yeah,
I think those
was
are
it-
some key factors that could exacerbate the condition.
Like I had it. It was like I would call it the worst of it was the first 2 days. The second day I had the fever. After that, it was just like I had a cough, and then my sense of smell and like half of my sense of taste kind of disappeared, which was terrible. That was the worst part.
Which half?
The front of my tongue, the back of my tongue, I could still kind of taste stuff.
Okay, like that's the bitter side of your tongue. If
I don't-
all
well,
that.
It was funny because like at first, like I didn't even consider like it's COVID. I don't even know if it was because like all the tests are bullshit anyway. You take a test and
Right.
it's hit or miss, like even if you're healthy. But I was eating and I was like, man, why is all this food so salty? Like I just thought everything was just super salty, and I was like, this is all gross. Turns out it was like
True.
in the middle of losing your sense of taste. I guess you can still taste salt or something.
Well, this just confirms that it definitely was a man-made thing because fat people suffer the worst and you can't taste food. It was
Oh, I know.
probably some kind of, some sort of thing that was supposed to help reduce obesity and it just got out of control.
Michelle Obama was probably complicit in its creation.
Well,
Yeah.
Rusty, my question to you is if we're doing this big bet to see which of the three of us will get vaccinated first, now that Reactor has gotten COVID and, overcome it, doesn't that kind of count as getting the vaccine since he had the sickness?
Well, I have the antibodies, but
Yeah, so I think
don't know.
I think you lose. I think me and Rusty win because
No,
we didn't
no,
get any
'cause
form of COVID. We didn't get the vaccine or normal COVID. We won. You lost.
No, it's like if you say
That's how it works.
No. If we were saying first person to to crash into a brick wall loses, and then I took a brick and started smashing my head with it, I don't lose.
No, I think it was more the spirit of the bet was whoever gets COVID inside their body first is the loser. That's why we all wanted to avoid the vaccine.
Because the vaccine literally is COVID.
Exactly.
I suppose.
So if you agree with that, $100 in my PayPal, lickety split.
It's actually worse than COVID because the vaccine tells your own cells to create the spike proteins, which are, basically literally COVID. So having COVID is one thing because it's a virus that replicates itself, but having your own body creating this virus is a totally different thing. Way crazier.
Yeah.
So I want to hear more about, I don't know what you can divulge or whatever, but like Tim was saying that he was on the brink of death.
Oh, well, yeah. So when
tweeting it out,
like, how far were we in 6 minutes? I think it's safe now to say that, as soon as I realized I was sick, I started munching on a tube of horse paste. So maybe that's why I didn't get the worst of it. Like every day, how
does it taste?
I was basically brushing my teeth with a dab of horse paste every day, and it tastes like you ever see A&D ointment?
No,
no.
It's like it's kind of like petroleum jelly, right? So imagine if you put like a hint of apple flavor in petroleum jelly, but not like a flavor that you would get from candy. It's more like a car apple scent type of apple, where it's like not an edible kind of apple scent. So it's like if you put that into petroleum jelly, like Vaseline, and then ate that.
And that sounds pretty good. So
best way to describe it. It wasn't like candy, but
you don't really. So like, all right. I'm watching all these videos. I'm seeing like I think the Quartering was talking about Tim saying something like maybe Tim said this that he texted Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan offered to pay for like the same type of treatment he had. So obviously Tim's got the accessibility to really good kind of treatments like fucking IV drips. I'm not gonna have a fucking IV drip. Did you get that same type of treatment?
Yeah.
True.
So after like the first 2 days, I still had it, but I was like not feverish or sick really anymore. It was just like, I got a cough, like when you're technically sick, but you're just coughing. And then, so then Tim or Joe Rogan offered to pay for everyone's treatment. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Cause I still had shit in my lungs, I was still coughing up shit.
True. So it just sounds like a normal flu as far. Minus your tongue half stopped working.
Yeah, it's like when you burn your tongue, you can't taste anything, except you also lose your smell. So it's just like,
dude, you should have spent that time eating pussy. It would have been the perfect opportunity. No smell, no taste, man. I'd go to town, make some ladies' day.
There's nothing wrong. Well, no, I should have used it to eat ass. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
Neither one is a pleasant smell, I don't believe.
I think you would just get even more sick, But hey, listen, it's 2021, so go for it.
You ask the girl or guy,
you got to build your immunity.
Hey, did you eat a bunch of salt by chance?
It's like, what is it? Didn't they come out with a study saying that people who eat ass have a better immune system?
Well, they better.
I would love to
see
a more
that robust
study.
Immune system.
Well, I was more under the impression that they have immune system deficiency, but that might just be part of something else. I don't know.
They have a mental deficiency.
No, like the more doorknobs you lick, the healthier you'll be because your body will see all of these viruses and germs that it needs antibodies for and build them.
Well, shit. All right. So whenever I saw Tim's post, I was like, fuck, man. I just keep switching back and forth between like, how serious is it? How serious is it not? Obviously. And then also you weren't like, reacting to anything in the Discord. So we just instantly assumed you were dead.
Yeah. And I assume that Reactor felt so embarrassed that he got COVID because I just know people are going to pull up all the times he said it didn't exist. And now he's like, no, I had it. It's actually not that big of a deal.
No, well, I said it doesn't exist because I say it's literally the flu. Like, what's the difference? You can't taste stuff?
Okay.
Oh, my God. We should lock down the world and kill all the economies because people might not be able to taste stuff.
But so what you're saying is if you're on the front page of r/COVIDiots, you're going to say, well, you know what? I might have said that, but I stand by it.
I mean, like, well, what did I say? That it literally what happened. It was nothing. I lost my sense of taste.
I mean, your brother said he almost died from it, so it seems a little bit serious. But I guess it is just your flesh and blood, so who cares?
But I think so. I think part of it is the psychological side where people are like, "Oh my god, it's a pandemic. We're all going to die."
Your
so when you
brother
get
has
it, you're
a
like,
weak
"Holy
mind?
fuck, I might die." So then you're like, "Holy crap, this is the worst sickness I ever had." And it's like, you just don't. I mean, the sickness you have right now is hard to compare to the sickness you had 2 years ago. You know, you feel like shit now. You feel like you're going to die, but you felt like you were going to die when you had the flu 2 years ago, also.
That sounds like copium to me, to be honest.
And if someone told you 2 years ago that the flu,
are you saying that your own brother is so weak-minded and weak-willed that he just assumes it's the worst he's ever been sick? You don't think he actually could just establish his own opinion based on how he's feeling?
A couple people who work here we're talking about having like 103 fever. Like, oh no, 103 fever.
That's pretty bad.
That never happens from regular flu. Oh, no, like that's really common. I don't see it.
Yeah. Like I've had a few friends that have gotten COVID, and of the three that I talked to about like their symptoms, Trash Rat being one of them, my roommate, he was like, he just had a fever and just felt like normal flu type shit for 2 days. One of the other guys was like, oh, if it was the worst thing I ever had, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't because I'd seen him, within the following days, and it didn't take long for him to recover. And I imagine it kind of seemed like he was exaggerating it, or like you were saying, it's psychological in your head. You're having the flu symptoms, and say you haven't had the flu in 2 years, and you're coughing up yellow shit, and it's hard to breathe, like normal fucking annoying flu shit.
Yeah,
but then it goes
this is
away.
it. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
I don't know. I've had the flu before,
oh
and the flu never made me feel like I couldn't get oxygen into my lungs. It's more of a head cold.
Yeah, but I can't imagine getting an experimental gene modifying therapy that hasn't been tested on humans, except for now, and being tested on you as the test subject. Like,
I mean, I feel like that was a big change in subject, but I guess go off, King.
No, I'm just saying, like freaking out that bad over something that's on par with the flu. It's got the same death rate as the flu.
I mean, can we talk about something we all agree on, like Kyle Rittenhouse being a guilty? He should be locked up forever for what he did.
Have you guys been watching? At least we can all
agree on that non-decisive or divisive issue.
Have you guys been watching the trial?
Well, I did turn on the footage. I think it was maybe the first day. I forget which day it was. I turned it on. I was on the bus going to see my aunt in Detroit, and I just turned it all the way up. But the bus is kind of loud, so I have my Bluetooth speaker. I turned that all the way up too and put it up next to my head. And some guy came up on the stage talking about quoting somebody about how he's going to shoot so and so, but then he started saying this word. And I tell you, they had to pull the bus over. I had to apologize. I had to write a formal statement to the bus company. Big ups to Jefferson. Sorry that it all went down like that. But anyway, ever since then, I kind of I got a little preoccupied. So I'm glad to hear more about it. If they're, I want to get the details.
You got to watch I'd watch a highlight reel because there's a lot.
There's a lot.
9 hours a day.
It's such a fucking shit show that it's
so
hilarious.
Good. It is. No. You know what it is? You know what I kind of realized. The media has lied so much about what actually happened, saying he was a white supremacist gang member. Okay, he's not even white. They don't know what they're talking about. They're saying you can see the footage of this guy threatening to kill him if he gets him alone, and then later he chases him, backs him into a corner alone, and gets shot for it. It's like if any normal person can clearly watch all of the evidence and be like, oh, okay, that was self-defense.
All right, can I?
They've lied so much about it that my point though is the witness they had didn't seem to understand that he was incriminating himself and basically saying that Kyle was innocent because he thought he was just repeating everything he's always said that the media said was good. Yeah,
true. Like. All right, so I when I was thinking about it, it's like okay. I think the whole idea of Kyle Rittenhouse going there with a assault like weapon or whatever the fuck they call it, and as 17-year-old, it's a little bit goofy and kind of probably not the most responsible thing to do. And then all the other shit unfolded where it ended with him, shooting 3 people, killing 2, I guess.
Yeah,
and so so that's like something that if you're going to be the prosecutor and try to make a case against him and bring all these witnesses in court, they have the worst possible case. So I was listening. All right,
It's like he doesn't know what he's doing. The prosecutor, it's like I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet the prosecutor wants a mistrial so that this is all over because he thinks Rittenhouse is innocent too.
Yeah, well, it's like they've completely ruined their own case, and so whenever it came down to the testimony of the dude who got his bicep shot, he had a gun, right?
Yeah,
and
aimed at his head.
like from his testimony, I thought it was kind of, this is like a fear of mine. You don't really exactly know what you're doing. You don't know the entirety of the situation. Like if he was claiming that he thought Kyle Rittenhouse was an active shooter who was like just shooting people, and he's like, oh fuck, maybe I could, I have my concealed carry permit even though it was expired. I should probably take action in this situation. If that was true and that was his intent, then he was just, it seemed like he was probably roughly doing the right thing.
Yeah, like I don't think they were. I mean, aside from them all being violent rioters and going there to cause trouble and burn stuff,
right?
Like, and that's why they were all mad at Kyle Rittenhouse and the people that were there putting out fires. That's why all the rioters were mad at them. They were like the others that were stopping our fires. We're trying to see shit burn. They hated him. But I do kind of understand that but when you're in a mob, you can't believe what other people are yelling. Like, oh, he's a shooter. He's shooting people for no reason. Like, okay, well,
yeah, you should probably run away if that's what you think.
You're all rioters too. We're here to break laws. I'm not going to take your word for it and dig myself.
Do we know if this podcast will be up before or after the verdict is in?
When is the verdict?
The verdict, the judge today said he's hoping for Monday.
Okay, so should we take bets on the verdict and the public response, plus or minus on some extra rioting thrown in there?
Wait, can we hold off? Can we hold that bet for a second and Reactor? Because I'm not sure if we actually said all of the clips like that really just fucking destroyed this case. And Eggy said that he wasn't fully up to steam. I don't know if you can kind of lay it out.
So the most popular clip is from when the Gage Grosskreutz was he's the only surviving person who got shot by Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
He
very careful not to use the word victim. That's funny.
I mean, he's not a victim. Like Rittenhouse is the victim. They were he was being chased by a mob. Like you can't say anything otherwise because that's literally what was happening. But he was on the stand, and the most famous clip is the defense attorney said to him, when you ran up to Rittenhouse with the gun in your hand, did he shoot you? And he said, no. He had his hands up in surrender, and Rittenhouse was conscious of that and didn't shoot him, and he lowered his weapon. And he was like, and it wasn't until you then dropped your hands and charged at him, pointing your gun at his head, that he shot you, right? And he was like, yes, that's correct. So it's like he basically laid out a clear case of self-defense, and Rittenhouse clearly knew trigger discipline that, okay, his hands are up. He's not a threat. He drops his hands, points the gun at his head, and charges towards him. He's a threat. And then he literally disarmed him and didn't kill him.
But he was also, he also said that he saw Kyle Rittenhouse like re-rack the gun. And so
which also was proven
that he misfired.
No, he thought like, it was a fake out surrender. That's what it was. And then when Rittenhouse lowered his weapon, he was like, now's my chance. So he pointed the gun at his head. Bad move, because now you're a threat again. You get disarmed. But
yeah, so that was the living
true. He may
person
have
who got shot.
Yeah, he may have thought he was re-racking his weapon and like pulling it back to put a new round in it. But that would expel a live round onto the ground, an unused round with the bullet still on it. And there is no evidence of a live round being left on the ground. So they know that's not true. He had a 30 round, real quick, he had a 30 round magazine minus 8 rounds that he fired, and he had all the rounds accounted for after that.
True. Okay. So there was also the a witness that they brought on. I think there was
an autistic guy who had like a photographic memory. And it was also funny because the DA was trying to like, what's the word? Like, he was being corrupt. He tried getting him to change his statement because he thought this guy was retarded when really he was just autistic, you know?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's a big difference. Autists have photographic memories and aren't stupid. And you know, so he thought he could take advantage of him and get him to
some
change
of
his
them
story.
are. I've met a few stupid autistic people before.
Yeah, I guess it's a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
There was one witness that I thought they were trying to get testimony on, like the guy with the skateboard, who got shot, and they were trying to say like, well, like obviously you weren't in his, you can't read his mind, you can't tell what he was thinking. So what made you think that he was a threat? And he's like, the guy said he was gonna fucking.
Rosenbaum, the first guy. The first guy said,
"Is that the guy who's a pedophile?"
Yeah, he said, "If I get you alone, I'm gonna kill you." He said that to Rittenhouse. He literally said it to Rittenhouse.
But what's the deal with like this rapist pedo shit though?
Yeah, they're trying to bring up his past like it matters. He raped like 5 boys under the age of 11 or something and went to prison for it.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty bad person.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like Kyle might have done society a favor, right?
No, he did his time. He went to a correctional facility, did his time, and was rehabilitated.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe he was rehabilitated on that, but he sounded like he was still out in those streets looking for children.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it looks like he was attacking Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, he literally told Kyle earlier in the day that if he got him alone, he was gonna fucking kill him. And then he started chasing Rittenhouse later and backed Rittenhouse into a corner, and Rittenhouse shot him.
Wait, so how old was Kyle when this happened?
17. Another funny thing from today.
So he's an underage guy and a convicted pedophile chasing after him, and he shot him?
Yeah, and now all the left is defending him.
Uh-oh.
But you know how that goes. That's not...
can't bring that up on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. But today it was funny. Rittenhouse actually went on the stand, which most attorneys would like tell you not to do that because then they can cross-examine you. The prosecutors can, and they can ask you anything. But what was I getting at? I don't know. Today was pretty funny too.
People are making memes because Kyle started crying on the stand or something.
The prosecutor was like, "So when Rosenbaum was chasing you, did he still have the chain that he was holding when he threatened you earlier in the day to kill you?" And Rittenhouse was like, "No, but I didn't know that at the time." And he was saying, "So he was unarmed when you shot him." And he was like, "Yeah, well, he had my gun barrel. He was grabbing my gun. So and I guess technically by law that would be like dual possession. If you have someone's weapon in your hand, they're no longer unarmed because you're fighting over a weapon."
Okay.
So I mean that was the case, but this prosecutor was like, he was going over like he was naming specific weapons that they didn't have. So it was like the guy Huber who hit him in the head twice with a skateboard. He was like, "Did he have a gun?" He was like, "No." "Did he have a knife?" "No." Like he had a skateboard. Like he didn't have a hammer. He didn't have a bow and arrow. He didn't have he's a threat is a threat. You don't have to have a gun to be a threat. But
I've seen footage of people hitting people in the head with skateboard trucks, and that shit is brutal.
You can snap their spine if you do it right. If you karate chop
easily.
them with it.
You can crack their skull in.
Yeah, but the funniest one was that Grosskreutz had the pistol when and Kyle shot him in the arm, and the prosecutor's story or like the picture he was trying to paint was that Kyle had an assault rifle and Grosskreutz only had a pistol. So wasn't Kyle the threat and not Grosskreutz because he only had a pistol? Like what?
Like okay, yeah, shoot me. Sorry, I have the bigger gun. Shoot
it's like
me.
It's as if it's paper, scissors, rock. It's like you had paper and he had rock. So weren't you the threat? Like what? It's you can still bash my face in. What?
And he was trying to goddamn, there's one funny clip where all right, there was 2 that I saw today. One where he was trying to bring up Call of Duty, like the fact that he plays Call of Duty, and I don't know. He was trying to make like a case that video games cause violence, I guess.
Yeah, they're still doing that in 2021.
Yeah, he was trying to say that Kyle thought or wanted to play Call of Duty in real life. Like,
is Hillary Clinton this kid's lawyer?
in Call of Duty, isn't the goal to kill everyone? And he was like, what? What?
It's a video
Well,
game.
you know, I played some Call of Duty earlier today, and it sounds like from some of the quotations I've been hearing in this trial using certain words, it sounds like there were some Call of Duty players on the scene that were saying some certain words that I heard a lot of in my headset today, and a lot of it.
You know what Kyle should have said? He should have stood up and said, well, Mr. Prosecutor, if playing Call of Duty makes me a killer, then maybe you should play Ace Attorney so you could be a real lawyer, motherfucker! And then he throws down his microphone, starts dancing on the judge's table, and the judge starts fucking screaming. He's waving his gavel like, order in this courtroom! But then he sees Kyle's juicy dance moves up on top of on his desk. He says, you know what? This young man, he might have slain 2.5 souls in the street, but his dance moves have inspired this judge for an early retirement. Kyle Rittenhouse, you are freeze to go, my friend. You are freeze to go.
The jury is crying.
But another thing that happened was...
did you see his TikTok account?
Whose?
Did you see they cross-examined in the fucking prosecutor, whoever was bringing up his TikTok account, and he's like, so is this you? Is this your TikTok account? Under the username 4 Doors More
Instagram,
Whores? Instagram. He's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
And he goes, now this is the line in the description of your account. It says, bruh, BRUH, I'm just trying to be famous.
Yeah.
Did you type that? He's like, yeah. And that was the end of his cross-examination.
Welcome to TikTok.
That was the end. He kept going, but the defense also asked for a mistrial because the prosecutor, I guess it's like there's something called the Fifth Amendment rights where you don't have to talk, right? And the prosecutor in front of the jury started grilling Kyle for not talking to the press until the trial. He was like, "So why were you staying quiet?" And the judge was like, "What the fuck?" And he had the jury leave, and he was like, "What?" He started yelling. He was literally yelling at the guy. He was like, "I don't know what you're thinking, but this is a huge violation of federal law. You can't ask someone in front of a jury why they wanted to stay quiet. They have the right to remain silent." And you so then the defense asked for a mistrial. So see where that goes. I don't know.
Oh fuck! And also the judge's cell phone went off, and his ringtone was "Proud to be an American."
Yeah, which the left. So the left is freaking out about that, saying he's biased.
So the left hates the judge. So going back to Monkey's question, what do you think the results will be, and what you think the fallout will be?
Let me ask you this real quick. Why would the defense want a mistrial if it's like clear that they're winning? Wouldn't they just want
prejudice.
A non-guilty?
The defense wants a mistrial with prejudice, which means
no more trials.
That means it's over with. He's free.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Saying
I think that'll probably happen then. This judge is getting pissed.
Yeah, he destroyed the chance of a fair trial by bringing up stupid shit that is illegal and he should be disbarred for. Yeah.
So I think watching all these clips at least, and just seeing people on both sides, at least on the internet, saying how it's a pretty terrible case for the prosecutor. It seems quite open and shut.
Yeah.
That Rittenhouse will be acquitted.
But
now that's the internet. Now they can say, this is just what my prediction is. They can say whatever, there was something wrong with the judge, blah blah blah. They can try to do I don't know, any lawyer talk.
Hey, there's
what I think is going to happen.
There's another thing you need to know though before you make your decision.
Okay.
There's a viral video of like George Floyd's nephew or acquaintance or friend, some dude claiming to be his nephew, saying that he's gonna take action against any jury members who don't say Kyle's guilty. So that might sway the jury's opinion. So
is the jury not anonymous?
They are, but in the video he said that he had people taking pictures of them, whether they knew it or not. And then yesterday morning,
how the fuck is that guy not arrested?
Yesterday morning, it was realized that someone had taken a video of the jury boarding the bus to the courthouse. So now they know that their identities are in jeopardy. So that might change the decision.
there's been a lot of cases like this. Before it started, I thought that this was such a politicized case that, Rittenhouse was just going to get guilty no matter what to, prevent riots and soothe the people and all the other bullshit. We've seen it before where the evidence, but this is like the defense is so fucking bad. Sorry, the prosecutor.
Or that's the prosecutor. There's no prosecutor. There's no case.
They have no case, and they just keep fumbling. And like in the law sense, how a court operates, they have 100% lost about 6 different times. And so I think that he's definitely going to get acquitted, but I know people IRL, they are not paying attention to this case. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to spout whatever the media says because they're not watching any of the clips. I'm just watching the clips.
Yeah,
and
just
making
watch the trial. The whole incident is literally on video from multiple angles.
So do you guys think like we're going to see cities burning? The judge's house is going to be arson?
Well, I think they need to make a law against burning cities down before the end of the trial.
I think that might be against the law.
They should also make a law against threatening juries, because that would have helped Derek Chauvin.
These are great ideas. We should get these in the law books.
I kind of feel like the future of the American legal system might just be on a little bit of shaky ground of when any jury who might not vote in the interest of state propaganda is having their identity maliciously wielded in order to coerce them into always agreeing with state propaganda. I mean, that's just me. I'm sure that we'll get it all worked out here pretty soon. There'll be a lot of flowers and kisses and hugs.
I think
maybe we could all
loophole.
have a nice dance hall with some jerk chicken and rainbows. I think it'll be real smooth very soon, but it does just make me scratch the chin a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I think threatening the jury is a genius loophole, and I can't believe nobody thought of it sooner.
Yeah, why isn't everyone thought about threatening the jury to get so
who cares
hopefully
what
by
the evidence
Monday
says?
we'll get it.
Make the jury fear for their life, and they'll say what you want.
Well, if I do recall, there was an episode of Sherlock Holmes when Moriarty threatened the jury, so maybe George Floyd's cousin is just as much of a criminal mastermind as Moriarty.
So what do you think's going to happen then, Mumkey?
Well, I'm curious to know which cities are going to be targeted. Will this just be nationwide? Every blue city is going to burn?
No.
Or
See, there's also another aspect that you're not considering. It's not an election.
Is that
year.
you just took a big bong hit?
What?
No.
Is that what I'm hearing?
It's not an election year. So cities probably won't burn.
Well, I don't know. I think people are pretty plugged into this on social media, and social media breeds the stupidest and loudest of people to meet up and destroy their own habitat.
But Democrats aren't going to allow shit to get burned because there's no benefit.
What are they going to do to stop it?
Well, they won't tell the police to stand down.
They aren't going to.
Yeah,
they aren't going to hire a bunch of people and send them out there with bricks and put them in camps outside of the cities they want to burn.
They're not going to stack pallets of bricks around cities.
I don't know. I think if this kid gets off scot-free or whatever the phrase is, I think Black Lives Matter is going to want their voice to be heard, and I think things are going to light on fire. That's my prediction. That's my bet.
Yeah, okay,
$100.
but Black Lives Matter only exists during election years. We'll
see.
Or midterms.
I don't know if that's true. I could have swore like during, not even in the last year of Obama, but like in an awkward period that wasn't necessarily around elections is when they were really getting their power.
If you were to see like a graph of like articles talking about BLM, it would spike during election years.
Well, that's probably because that's when people who aren't getting their political voice heard fairly on the stage of our country, that's probably when they're the most inclined to put some money behind their political cause to make sure that their voices are being heard during the election season. So just like any other fundraising, I'm sure that's probably what it is.
Now, I guess if we don't have any more predictions, or first off, this episode's definitely going to get demonetized.
I'm not sure.
I'm not
sure which way to bet on this, because in a sane world, this wouldn't even be prosecuted. They'd be like, "Oh, we have video footage of everything. It was self-defense, clearly." But now we have the media that is trying to create an alternate reality where he's a white supremacist gang member who went there to kill people,
Right.
And they're lying about even the court case. They're saying that, what was it?
I saw that.
Yeah, they're saying that Gross Kreutz testified that his hands were up when Rittenhouse shot him. Like that, what? That did not happen. He literally
Well, that's
said,
why I'm saying that people, when the media is like just telling people straight up, this is the opinion you should have, and they're lying about the actual events, people are going to legitimately think reality is twisted when this verdict comes out, and they're going to want mob justice. That's why I think it's going to be a disaster.
So I mean, I don't know which way to go. I don't think we live in a sane world anymore. So
Clearly not.
Okay, what about this? Either there's going to be all the riots. I don't think the media is going to push the results very much. I think that they're going to try to sweep it all under the rug and say, forget about Kyle Rittenhouse. The same way they kind of like forget about
no benefit.
Sandman, whatever, Nick Sandman, after he won that $2 million case against CNN for slandering him.
This is going to be even crazier. Did you see the tweet from Biden calling Rittenhouse a white supremacist?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like...
is that an old tweet?
Yeah, September of 2020.
Let me see if I can find that.
Well, that sounds like that might have some unfair sway on the perception of this trial.
Maybe a little bit. The president calls him an enemy. Shit, where can I find that?
Here, I'll post it in...
yeah.
Where should I post? I'll just put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, So yeah, I mean, I think the whole situation in general is like Rittenhouse probably should have stayed out of something. It's like you don't jump around a bunch of people fighting, and then if you end up getting hit and then hitting someone else, like you knew what you were getting into a little bit. You bring a gun to a gunfight.
Well,
Wait,
no.
when was this?
If
September 2020.
If people for multiple days in a row are attacking your property, like say you have a big house, and people are like destroying it every day.
His property.
No. Like metaphorically, they're attacking this property. If you go there and then one of these violent people starts attacking you and you self-defend yourself, it's not your fault. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't smart for him to go there, but it's not smart for people to join the military and go to war either.
I think it's completely irrelevant. What's on trial here is this one altercation between these people. The reason why they were there, I think, is completely irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. If it's just about what took place, it's fucking horrific on the prosecutor's side. They have completely blundered us.
The whole time, like he was like, so what were you doing there? He's like, I was giving people first aid. Anyone who needed it. I was there to give first aid and make sure everything stayed safe. And then there was just this one guy who was crazy and chased him into a corner. And
people can't act like this is a new thing. Me and Eggy were watching a Tosh.0 from like 3 or 4 years ago. And literally there was an episode about an 18-year-old little white kid who wears full body armor, and he carries a gun just like the one Kyle had, and he paroles his neighborhood. And they had like a cute little segment on Tosh.0 about it. And they like made jokes that he's a racist, and he's like, no, I just want to protect my community. And that was it. Like nothing bad happened. Sounds like Kyle did the same thing, only this time somebody got to stepping and he got to shooting.
Except, the media made a story out of it.
Is skateboarding a crime?
Oh, hitting someone with a skateboard, yeah.
Well, if somebody's attacking you,
it doesn't matter if he had a bunch of straws stuck together that he was like hitting him with. Like, you're
Rusty, I'm going to
him.
be honest. If you came at me with your fist, I would shoot you.
No, and that's legal. Because
I'm
once you knock
he does it.
But once you knock someone out, it doesn't matter if they have a gun. You have the gun now if they have one.
Yeah,
like your fist. It's like they're like, you had a gun and they were hitting you with the skateboard. So why did you use lethal force? It's like, because if he knocked me out, he could take my gun or he could continue to smash my skull in. What?
I don't want to harp on it too much, but I was thinking of the guy who, pointed the gun at him and then got shot.
Yeah.
This all went down in like the course of a few seconds. And so this is a lot of like figuring out, all right, analyze what is the situation on both sides. Like on everyone's trying to figure out who the fuck is this kid with the assault-like weapon. This guy, he's got his concealed gun, and he's like, fuck, maybe he actually did think like, holy shit.
There's another interesting aspect of it. Grosskreutz, the guy who got his who got disarmed, as Kyle's running,
he certainly did.
Yeah, as Kyle's running, he's recording a live stream and he's running next to him. He's like, "What happened?" Or people are yelling, "He shot someone." He was like, "Who shot someone?" to Kyle, and Kyle's like, "I had to do it. I'm going to get the police." And then, so basically, this dude knew. He said he was going to get the police. Then he continued to chase him, and as Kyle got struck by a skateboard and kicked in the face by some other dude. Why were you chasing him? Gage Grosskreutz, the one with the pistol, knew he was running to the police. Why was he trying to stop him?
See that.
Why would, if someone just shot someone and they said, "I'm running to the police," it's like, okay, well, especially if they have a fucking assault rifle, it's like, you do you, bro. Like, okay. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't wait to see what the results are going to be, because it's going to be fucking messy.
Dude, this trial, I mean, it's like 8-9 hours a day. So I understand not everyone can watch it, but the highlights it's like watching one of the best episodes of Law and Order ever.
Right.
Because it's like just so clear cut. And then you also get to see the reality of the media lying, blatantly lying. Like there's a video of Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks saying all kinds of crazy ass shit.
Yeah, I saw Anna Kasparian actually posted an amendment to something they were saying, an amendum, whatever, I don't know what the word
Addendum?
is. Saying how they'd gotten the story so fucking wrong. And like they're saying, all right, it does matter that he was, shots had been fired as he was running away from two people, and they approached him on the ground with a gun and a skateboard. Like, I don't know what they had said previously to that, but it's like, how the fuck did you not know that was the story? The footage has already been out for over a year.
Like, don't go to the media. Watch the literal footage. There are so many people live streaming the whole thing.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It's like there's no excuse.
Still doubling down.
Yeah, I think taking all that into consideration, I think probably what's going to happen is that I don't know. It's sort of like how when you bet on like boxing or something, is it going to be a knockout or is it going to be a decision? Either way, I think it's going to be not guilty. And I think, as they say, facts don't care about feelings. So since all the facts are pretty cut and dry, in my opinion, I think everybody will just accept that is the correct verdict, and we'll all move on about our business. Just because we're out here, there's a lot going on in this world right now.
Yeah.
So I think everybody will kind of just be like on their way.
It's a lot like betting on an election where it's like a sure thing, because clearly it's a sure thing. But then somehow the other side cheats so bad that you just lose the money,
Right. When's the last time that happened?
Like a year ago, to me at least.
Oh.
So I was talking to Mumkey and Eggy the other night, and they said they had a story they wanted to talk about on the podcast.
Okay.
Is that still?
I think we're going to save that for my podcast. It's more of a Mumkey and Eggy story, really. It's not really Trash Rats material. We got to save the good stuff for the good show.
Okay, well, everyone, go over to Mumkey's podcast to hear this juicy story.
That's right. Rusty, I want to hear your story of how you and Emp climbed the tallest mountain in Florida. That sounds way more interesting.
That sounds
technically it's a hill.
You said you got arrested.
Hey,
you're
tune
really
in to the Simmy and Jimmy Treehouse podcast to find out more.
Oh
speaking of court proceedings, I will have some coming up. So I think we'll probably be, they told me not to fight the case, but I think if I really stretch it out,
you've been inspired by Kyle Rittenhouse to go fight it in court.
If I really stretch it out and cause a lot of damage and a lot of, what do they call that? Basically, I want to really just make it a kangaroo court. In fact, I might show up literally dressed as a kangaroo, and I'm going to talk in pig Latin the whole time. So if you're not familiar with that,
is a circus.
That's like Angaroo K Ortk. So that's how you talk in pig Latin. I'm going to talk like that the whole time when I'm in there, and I'm gonna like pretend I'm gonna cross my eyes and pretend like I'm blind and stuff too.
Is this the
I
thing you
think-
guys did with the hydrochloric acid in the cars and the big crowd of people?
Yeah, what
No.
was that again?
Oh, are you talking about? Did I ever talk about it on this podcast?
We'll just
I
save
don't
it for
think
the
I
other
ever talked about.
podcast. You can just save it for the other podcast. Just go check out.
Okay, well, I was gonna. I thought
Mumpy's
you were.
other podcast.
What's that one? I was talking about when you mix toilet bowl cleaner and this plant material inside your car. It'll if you're not having a very good time in life, but don't do that. And we don't want to talk about that. But in any case,
Should we read some Patreon questions?
Let's do it.
Sure. God damn it! I wanted to hear about this story, but now I got to
So-
listen to another podcast.
Cokehead Tortoise wants to know: give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Give a man head once for a bit of street smack, and you get called Ding Dong Delighter for the rest of your life. What's with that?
I like to phrase it differently. What is it? Light a man a fire, he'll be warm for a day. Light a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life.
That's, or at least for like the next few minutes.
Well, the rest of his life.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what's up with that. That's a great question. I'm glad.
I have
we
a
switched to the
very
Patreon
great
questions.
answer for this. So basically, when you're providing a man sustenance and nutrition, that is a constructive and positive thing. If you are fornicating lustfully in order to fulfill your vice, these are sinful, negative, and destructive behaviors, which are going to feed into negative feedback. So then after you do that negative, impulsive thing, which is a destructive behavior, you are then called the Ding Dong Delighter, which is a shameful title that really nobody wants. It is something embarrassing, something you'll have to hide from everyone you know and love for the rest of your life. Whereas if you're providing them with sustenance in their time of need, that's something that you'll champion. That's something that you'll want people to know and appreciate. So I think that is what makes it different.
Also, you're stealing someone's cum. You should at least give it back.
All right.
But that's
That
just
must
my
be a
take on
Miami
it.
behavior. I'm not familiar with that one.
If you were legally forced to own a human slave, what race would you pick? We all know Rusty's answer.
I'd pick the strongest race. Oh, probably like an Asian.
I'd
Like
want a
some-
white guy
like-
so that people don't treat him discriminately in public.
True. No one would even think he was a slave.
Yeah, nobody would say racist shit to him because he'd be white.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I guess. White's a good slave race.
Yeah. I'd say, like, of all the races that I could be, I'd probably want to be, like, not white, because then people might try to make me a slave in the future. So ideally, I'll become, like, Asian, like Reactor one day.
Or you got to be mixed so that you technically have no race.
Right. Yeah.
Is
'cause,
YouTube really removing the dislike button?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's that.
Yeah, they are.
Whenever they tweeted about it, everyone was pretty much shitting on them. Like their tweet got
and they don't
ratioed.
care.
They don't give a fuck. So now they're officially removing the dislike
You know
button
why?
across.
Have you seen
Because
the
of
White
the
House?
White House?
Yeah. Have you seen their videos?
Yeah. I mean, God damn it, man. This is gonna suck.
Is it
Like,
really
'cause
going to affect your life, though, Rusty? I mean,
Yes.
your fans are such succubi. They all give that thumbs up the whole time. You're not even
No, I
going to
don't.
notice.
That's the ignorant.
It's like Twitter
That's
now.
their take on it. They think it's about like, the user, you can still see the dislikes, but no, I want to be able to see the dislikes on videos so I don't waste my fucking time trying to watch them. And
Well,
I
just
don't
don't
have
click
to
on a
figure out-
video that's by Emp Lemon and you won't have to waste your time.
Actually, you know what? Now I didn't think about that. I was thinking of how Reactor was saying that when the political channels are doing this or whatever, that is you can't see the disagreement. But actually, come to think of it, this provides a great opportunity to start using YouTube maliciously
That's
in a
right.
spamming and scamming way. Now
Oh,
I
yeah.
know that sounds bad, okay, but imagine right now you could make a channel and have it be just run up a bunch of like 15-minute videos where you claim something happens but it actually doesn't.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And really
Oh, yeah.
make it
Clickbait's
seem like
going-
somebody's going to get something out of the video and they never do. Oh,
Uh-huh.
you'll get a lot of money. I think I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
goes
do it
live.
like just keep watching, and all answers will be revealed. And then you never do, and people have to watch the entire video because they
Like,
can't see
So
that
many how-to
it's
videos. Just
horrifically-
think of like the most obscure, complicated things that people need to know. You know,
Uh-huh.
just make these
Yeah,
how-to
'cause, like-
videos that don't really explain shit.
right now you have those kind of videos, those kind of channels out there that are baiting, but they'll have the likes and dislikes disabled. Maybe they'll have comments disabled too. When you go to a video that's promising something that you haven't seen, and they have those ways of communication already disabled, okay, that's a red flag. But now it's going to be a default thing that everyone's going to have, so it's not going to make you stick out anymore. So yeah, I think
dude, that's fucking bullshit. Because that, like I was saying about cooking videos, if I go to a cooking video and it's got shitty ratings, I'm instantly out of there. I'm not going to sit there and try to, click through and say, all right, why don't people like this? Like, now I have no idea of knowing if this video is just shit and most people would agree on it.
Yeah, I think in the future when I have like audio or Audacity or Windows 10 issues, it might be a little more difficult to find a proper video to help me out. I need to find a 12-year-old who's typing into Notepad on his desktop, recording it with Bandicam 2.
Like text to speech.
Yeah.
Playing.
And now how am I going to find the high quality Kino versions of those? It's going to take
here's
a little bit
another thing
longer.
that happened I thought was cool was the Travis Scott concert where all those people got trampled.
Oh, you thought that was cool?
No, I just think it's interesting. I guess I said cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. That shit seems really fucked up. That just trying to imagine yourself in a crowd where it's like so forced you can't move anywhere, and if someone does fall down, pass out, or whatever, and you're standing on them, you can't not stand on them because there's nowhere else to stand. I don't know if you've been following it at all.
I refused to watch the videos of it. Just the whole concept was disgusting to me. And you know what? Maybe don't go to that guy's concerts next time.
Yeah, my YouTube recommendations have just been totally like every because I follow many hip hop blogs and so on, and they've all been pretty on top of it. But I think this just goes to show that it's very important to take care of your physical fitness, because if you had like a Bruce Lee kind of physique going on, you probably could have like put your hands on top of people's heads and done like a handstand walk out of the crowd.
Yeah.
So basically, make sure you go into the gym, make sure you're eating your vegetables, and stop listening to negative frequency music. You got to go 432 hertz, I believe is what it's called. And then you will no longer be feeling the hurts in your soul. You're going to be feeling good. You're going to be living right. Your skin's going to clear up. Your hair's going to get thicker. And you'll be able to find someone to love you.
You'll be able to breathe better in a crowded room.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just stay the fuck away from concerts. Like if you have a front row seat thing at a very hype concert, the potential of you getting crushed to death is much higher, I guess, than
I mean, thankfully, if you go to a Rusty Cage concert, there won't be enough people there to crush you, so you might be safe.
I made a joke. It was like a point of view. You're at a Travis Scott concert, and it was.
Oh, did you get a few hashtag too soons in the comment section?
I got quite a bit hashtag too soons. Let me see if I can find this.
Has anybody told you when it is soon enough?
No one's ever replied to tell me when's the best time.
They just know when it's too soon.
Hey,
exactly.
So everyone got crushed because they were pushing towards the stage, right? That's the story?
Yeah, because like a lot of people snuck into the show. They like jumped barricades, and so they had too many people, not enough security, not enough EMTs. Everyone's bum rushing the show.
I just feel like, wouldn't this have happened before if that were the case?
They did have. I mean, I think the last time that like a major one with a major act, I think it was probably a few decades ago, if I'm not mistaken, because they did have a. People have been saying, I think like in the 70s and 80s it happened. But I suppose it's kind of like the same, it's just as if you had walls closing in on you, but it's just those walls are humans, but they still have, it's still scientific, science, physics that, it's a very, I'm claustrophobic myself. So, but it's one nice thing about being a larger man, because I was at a rave one time a couple years ago, got pretty tight.
I saw.
And basically, if I kind of like lean back into people, they'd all fall over in the opposite direction. So I made sure that I had enough room to be comfortable, and being large helped with that. So
I saw a tweet from Bill Nye saying that the Travis Scott concert was equivalent to being like 20,000 feet underwater in the ocean.
The
That's
density.
because he
Oh,
was
shit.
dripping so hard with the swagger, from what I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was like up on stage watching dead bodies be crowd surfed away. Travis Scott, yeah. Like,
I saw a tweet from Alec Baldwin saying that Travis Scott was negligent.
oh yeah. Hey, did you see the news story about Alec Baldwin's shooting?
There's a new one? Well, he did it
Yeah,
again?
he's being sued by like an engineer or someone who worked on the movie on the set. And in the lawsuit, this guy says that the scene where Alec Baldwin shot someone, he wasn't even supposed to fire the weapon.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah, he was just
So-
fucking around. He thought it was a toy.
Well, but he not only did it have a live round in it, which is very odd, but it was also his job as the actor holding the weapon to check it and make sure there were no live rounds. But also, as the actor, he wasn't supposed to fire it at anything. He was supposed to
Yeah,
hold
so
it.
poor gun etiquette from someone who avoids guns, never learns anything about how to handle them, criticizes them, shoots someone, and is confused what happened.
Would it be
I don't
funny
know,
if
just-
Alec Baldwin ended his own life with a gun to the head? Would that be ironic?
It would be ironic,
not really.
yes.
I don't know. But it is weird that you see the media spinning it like, oh, like they've been lying about it, saying it was a misfire. Which, no, it wasn't. He pulled the trigger. They were saying it was shrapnel. Like, no, it was a live round. And now you're saying he wasn't even supposed to fire it. Like, that's a little
Dude,
odd.
I got so much fucking hate for memeing on Alec Baldwin. I didn't realize how many people loved Alec Baldwin.
Still?
Like I made.
You're telling me he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose any supporters?
I don't think so. I think anyone who
Damn.
criticized him for it would be in big trouble with
he was good
TikTokers.
in 30 Rock.
He was good in Boss Baby too.
Was he in that?
Family Business.
Yeah,
He's the voice of Boss Baby. Reactor, come on.
Oh, man.
I just hope this whole situation doesn't keep us from losing any planned Boss Baby film universe that
Yeah,
was
Boss
in
Baby
development.
3 better not be canceled or else I'm going to have to shoot somebody myself.
voicing it from prison.
Well, actually, no, that would be a great angle. We should sell that script to be like Boss Baby.
Locked up?
Turns out he was running Enron this whole time.
Oh,
They're taking him in.
shit.
I've never seen Boss Baby, but it just sounds kind of ridiculous.
Oh, no, it's grounded in reality. I think you would enjoy it.
Okay.
Well, I guess do we have any more?
No,
incredible Patreon
no, I'm
questions?
done.
I had one more thing to say. I just had to refresh my memory on the lyrics of it. It's just one last comment pertaining to the Travis Scott situation in the idea that he was able to see the people being carried through the crowd and so on. I just want to quote this verse from Travis Scott on the song by Party Next Door called No Feelings. He says, quote, "I drank so much codeine, I'm colorblind." So that's what so maybe he went blind. Maybe he has vision
True.
problems. So
True.
with that being the case, maybe he was just difficult to
I hope
perceive
he
what was
has-
going on.
I hope he has the same prosecutor or same attorney as Kyle Rittenhouse because I can't wait for another exciting trial.
That would be quite the resume to present on your law firm for sure.
Hey, on a totally different subject, did you guys know that there is a such thing as $1,000 bill and a $10,000 bill and even a $500 bill?
Yes.
I didn't know
I
that.
believe the
You didn't know
$1,000 bills were in circulation until the 60s, as I
Yeah.
recall. I remember that was in like a Guinness Fun Facts like
Yeah,
thing
I really
when I
wanna-
was in school or something.
I really want to get one and try spending at places and see if they call the cops on me.
Well, I think like a $10,000 bill probably costs close to $1 million right now.
Yeah, I think I heard. No, the $100,000 bill is illegal for collectors to
Oh,
even
shit.
own.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
for like banks and fucking You know,
Or
the-
it's for the Fed to bail themselves out of bullshit. that
Exactly,
They got
yeah.
themselves into. Like that $1 trillion bill they're talking about. Like, let's just print $1 trillion bill and then we can pay our debt. What the fuck?
perfect. Throw away the pennies.
You
didn't
know,
know
it'd
it
be
was
really
illegal.
funny if the Federal Reserve prints $1 trillion bill and like a plunger came down through the ceiling and like attached to it and pulled it back up. That would make me laugh.
Or if someone loses it.
Whoops. It was in my wallet. I thought
I don't know where I put
I had it.
Somebody
I had it in
has
my sock.
Or somebody
so no
steals it. Good luck.
What the
with
Well,
fuck are you gonna do? How are you
fortunately,
gonna-
Federal Reserve notes aren't actual real currency, so if they get
Yeah.
lost or tore up, you can just make another one and nobody will know.
$2 trillion bills out there somewhere.
Yeah, they're not real currency since we ended the gold standard. Is that what it was? Because wasn't like everything before just a certificate of amount of gold or silver?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like $1,000 worth of gold in value. It was basically a claim ticket to $1,000 of gold.
True.
Yeah, Richard Nixon, he cut us off, but at the same time, then they had more gold on hand to build computer parts so I could play video games as, later on. So, I mean, when you think about it, it was a pretty good trade because I do like video games. So it just cost the entire economy, but I mean, listen, you gotta refresh it every few hundred years anyway. So it's more important that I can enjoy video games right now. We'll figure the other stuff out later.
Well, then that led up to the creation of Call of Duty, which led to the unfortunate death of 2 people and the missing arm of 1 more in the Kyle Rittenhouse Kenosha shooting massacre.
I think the lesson to be learned here is that we definitely need to put up some money behind hashtag Girls Who Code, because once we get some more of the beautiful, divine, delicate, feminine touch in our day-to-day lives through the avenues of media that we consume and more representation, I think it's going to make the world a much happier, kinder, gentler, and fairer place.
That's a great closing statement. Eggy, since the last time you were on, you got your YouTube channel pulled.
Yeah, I think that was my twin brother who looks a lot like me, but after he was lamenting to me about the situation, I was like, maybe I'll try that YouTube stuff. So I made this channel called Big Yolk, inspired by my twin brother Egg White, to try the YouTube thing out. And hey, you know what? Reception has been pretty good so far. I think I got like 1,200 subscribers or 1,300 or something like that over the period of 2 weeks, without really promoting it anywhere except posting it on my Instagram page. So, yeah, that was pretty legit.
I bet your brother's jealous.
Well, if he wasn't such a incredibly beloved person who can really get a lot of joy out of life, then maybe so. But I think he just salutes me getting into the YouTube game, and there will be some more live streams and music and other wonderful videos on the way soon. So make sure you go check out Big Yolk. That's YOLK on YouTube for all your needs.
That's perfect. I guess we can start closing out this podcast. Eggy, thank you for coming on. Reactor, I'm glad you're not dead.
Oh yeah,
and
close call. I almost
Rusty,
I only had a 99.99% chance of living.
While Eggy tells the Clips channel what to do you want to look up the results of last week's poll to see who won the great music debate?
Last week's? Okay.
Yeah. Eggy, do you want to tell the Clips channel people how to properly enjoy their clips?
Yes. Let's see if I can remember from last time without any prompts here. You have just listened to a clip from the TrashRats podcast. Now that you have that free sample of goodness, make sure to devour the entire feast by subscribing to the TrashRats podcast and enjoying it in its entirety.
Rusty, who won the debate?
All right, I didn't know this was a debate, so it's who won the knife game debate. This, of course, was.
I'm sure the best person won, right?
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this was the debate between me and Gonzo's school over copyright, all that stuff. I'm seeing in last place with 6% was Gonzo's school.
Okay.
Wow, you fucking crushed him, Rusty. Congratulations, dude.
I haven't seen somebody get so smoked since that pork roast I saw on YouTube earlier today.
I hope that it was a good tutorial and they had ratings so you could tell it was good. Next up in this debate between me and Gonzo with 24% was Simeon Jimmy.
Oh, so I did better than Gonzo did.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh, I barely even said anything, so that's pretty impressive that I beat him.
Yeah, I hopefully it's not like a dog pile on our fans just because they love us. Well, okay, so after you, then, this is good news for me. With 28% was myself.
Oh, congratulations.
Wait, that doesn't add up to 100.
Well, surely it does. 28 plus 24, it's 48. That's 52 plus 6, that's 58.
Wait, there's like
Or whatever.
42% missing. It's like, so
Oh, yeah.
who else is in
fuck.
there?
I was zoomed out, or I was zoomed in too much. All right, shit. In first place with 42% of who won the knife game debate is, of course, Reactor.
Awesome. Wow. Thanks, guys.
What?
And you know what? What the funny thing is, like, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during that debate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't even talk the whole episode. I forgot you were even there. How did Reactor win?
I don't know. He had 119 votes, which is incredible. That's,
Damn, he even beat me.
that's
And
39
yeah,
votes
wow.
over me.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Well, at least we all
113
beat Gonzo.
Yeah. 'Cause that's all
Right,
that matters.
right.
Yeah, we have the
Well,
moral
he was
victory.
a good sport.
Basically, we had, what was it, 94% of the votes?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. And if you want to support us on Patreon, please do that through the links below. Join our, if you do join the Patreon, you will also get access to our Discord where you can ask us questions and chat with us because we're constantly in there and very active. So goodbye.
All right. Yeah.
Peace out.
I really like that lie you made at the end.